everyone, happy Saturday. I hope that you're all having an incredible day. And thank you for being here. We're going to start doing these more regularly every couple of weeks. Just going to give you guys some regular check-ins into where we're at, just in our process of building, allow you guys to ask some questions, and it's here that we'll be polling, some decisions from you guys in terms of the anime that we're building. It's all really, really exciting stuff, and I am very excited to continue on this journey with you all. So happy Saturday, GM. Can you all hear me? And without further ado, let's jump right into things. So, just giving a quick recap for anyone who didn't catch my tweet yesterday. I hope you all did though, because I put a lot of effort into writing it. But yeah, so just figuring out, or just getting everyone caught up as to where we are, why we're here, and where we're going. So Zokio always started as this place where we could redefine. We wanted to, as a company, with such close ties to Voice Me, we had to find ways to catch up to our competition with companies like Viz and Webtoons being really good stories and really good art. It's not going to happen, right? There's too big. So you have to find ways to innovate, to overcome. And that's where Zokio was birthed from, this idea of redefining how we engage with an IP, how we can monetize an IP for our readers, for our holders, and ultimately set a precedent for how. Sorry, Matt, are we good? Okay. Anyway, but yeah, and set a precedent for how we can engage, and that's where this all sprang forth from. So, taking this in mind, the goal has always been get your IP into series with millions and millions of views. Now, there's a couple of things that I will address later on, but I'm happy to announce that the first Zokios will be appearing in series probably over the next couple of weeks here. The first two that you'll probably notice are in God Game and the Mad Gate, and then System Royale as well. So these series both popped off recently, and they both actually jumped well into the millions of views. God Game is obviously already huge with 50 million views, but some really exciting stuff happened recently. We recently crossed the threshold of our initial test IP in the System Royale and the Espos Criminal Lord. These series both recently hit over 1 million views. There was some issues on the Voice Me site where views were not updating, and so they appeared actually a lot lower than they were. If you go, pretty much every series across the platform actually recently jumped massively in views, and this is exciting. How exciting is this? We have not only started IP, it just grew it from nothing to it's such a huge threshold. Like, try to conceptualize 1 million people. It's crazy. You can't even do it, right? And these people are now going to be seeing and engaging with your IP. That is what we promised from the start. And over the next couple of weeks, as these chapters roll out, that's going to happen. Now, some people have brought up some concerns about this, and so I want to address them. So, if you go on to a series like System Royale or the Espos Criminal Lord, you'll see that engagement looks quite low in terms of there's not a lot of likes and a lot of comments. Now, I'm going to let you guys in on a little bit of business strategy here. So, when we're building, we want to make it as easy as possible and on VoiceMe to engage. You have to create an account to even like and comment, right? Not even to just follow or support. So this was actually a strategic decision made by obviously Dylan and myself and the rest of the executive team over there. The reason being is that we can spin a much better narrative to investors that way, right? Like, what sounds better? Oh, like this chapter got 100 comments, or this chapter got 1 million views, right? And so when you're trying to raise money, you pick and choose what metrics you want to show, right? And for us, it was viewership, right? Obviously, the really big one in the comic space. So some people brought up some concerns there. I just want to address that really quick. That it is a specific strategic move to make viewership easier. As these, as we grow, truth be told, as we grow as a company, that's where this shifts and changes, and eventually you start really shifting to see monetization. So for anyone who is worried about that, that would be the situation there. Demarine, wait, before you go, Demarine, are you still here? If you are okay, if you're still here, the shadowing on your piece is movement. It's because she's moving back. That's why you see the blurred lines there. If you'd like, we can change it though. Yeah. For anyone who I don't know if Marina has shown off this piece yet, but we wanted to really wow you guys with the art that we can give you, and not just show you on Voice Me or in the comic street, but actually give you. And so I'm really, really proud of what we were able to do for Marine. Not to throw anything, but if you guys are interested, please check it out. Yeah, moving along. So yeah, the first special that we hit millions of views, that's incredible. And it's not just for IP that was already there, but IP that we made. How exciting. We're growing an audience in Web 2, right? That's impressive. That's cool. Now, moving away from manga and manhwa, let's talk about anime. So, truth be told, I'm waiting on a really badass video to show this publicly. But some of you might already know the second studio that we're working with is a studio called Studio Nine Lives. They've worked on everything from Castlevania to Pokemon, and I am super, super excited to be working with them. They've worked on pretty much everything. And I know I say that a lot, but really, it is hard to find new ways to describe the best of the best, right? Like you keep saying, well, they've done this and they've done this and they've worked on JJK and this particular scene they led, but eventually you just have to describe them with they're high quality artists. For anyone who's seen Castlevania Nocturne, I don't know about you guys, but I was like almost in tears during that lake scene, and they were the ones who did that. So super super excited to be working on them. Now we are working on obviously not just God Game and the Mad Gate is anime, but we are going to be working on two more. Two more should be going live when we have like the full release of these series. We'll actually be coming with 4 original IP. Now, there's a couple of important things that I want to hit here before I really dive into these specifics with some very early alpha. So the first thing that I want to address is some people brought up a previous project that Studio Nine Lives had. So I'm not sure if anyone has heard of this, but there was this project called DACO or something. I just want to address some concerns.
Digital Doka.
Digital Doka. Thank you, Med. So this was brought up to both Med and myself. And so just to clear the air here, in the sake of being honest and transparent, Studio Nine Lives was no more related to this project than they are to Zokio, insofar as we're paying them for a service, right? This isn't a partnership with Studio Nine Lives where like we work on 10 different animated series. Unfortunately, it's not that. We didn't have the capital for that just yet. I mean, realistically, we did, but we didn't want to blow it all on one thing, So um, it was just that this project was paying them for a service, and unfortunately, that project, I'm not sure if it rugged. I couldn't really find too much information on it. It looks like it didn't even go live, but they are aware of it. They have been trying to get information from it taken down, but they were no more involved than they're involved with Zokio, which is not to say that it's a bad thing. It's just to say that they were being paid for a service, and unfortunately, that service turned out to not be very good. I think there was even some issues with their payment. So now it is time for us to do right by them and make sure that they do not get burned like that again, because obviously that's a terrible, terrible thing to have to go through for them. as a company, and we never want to see that happen. So, talking about anime, when is this going to be revealed? So, right now, truth be told, we're spitballing a couple of different options on the backside with the team, just to keep you guys in the loop, and maybe you guys can even offer some insight to me here. We have really two options with this. The first one, just so you guys know, we have the ability to release it well before our first anniversary. So when I say anniversary, I mean when we did our public pre-sale on December 20th. We have the ability to release almost the entire season before that. There would really be 2 episodes that need to be done before then, or that would need to be completed after then. So truth be told, just guys know we're kind of toying around with the idea of, do we go there on a significant date for us at Zokio, and reveal the first episode of the Mad Gate right then and there, and get an anime out year one, which is so cool to say. Like a couple of years ago, when we were still when Voice Me was still only a couple of years old, and I had just started there, we were thinking, oh well, like maybe we'll get an anime in like 5 or 10 years, and now look at us, we're here and we're doing it a year. We could really release it all, most of it, less than a year before we had even started. In fact, the first episode will probably be done. It'll be done July 12th. Actually, is the date that the first episode of anime will be done. So the first option is we release it December 20th. The other option is, truth be told, as you guys know, we are building this, anime network. That's where it'll be done before that as well. It'll be done around Q2, Q2, Q3, around there. End of Q2, start of Q3. So the other option is we release 1 episode early, put it on there, drive attention to it, really, fill that out and show you guys what we're capable of, and then, we, truth be told, we have some stuff that we have to market towards the end of the year and reveal to you towards the end of the year that will relate to this network, that will relate to anime, relate to a ton of different stuff, and we still need to figure some of that stuff out. So what do you guys think? Do you, level with me here? Do you guys want to see anime sooner, or do you want to see more of the anime and the anime's utility coming out all at once towards the end of the year? What do you guys think? Med, while you're able to talk, let's hear your lovely British accent.
A lot of people think that I don't have a British accent, though, for some reason. I'm always very confused. But as much as I would love to have an anime earlier, without its utilities defined, I think it would just be another anime. We're here to leverage the new technology in Web3 in various ways that we can't really talk about just yet because it's all in the pipeline. Once it's a bit more solidified, obviously we can mention it in more detail. But I think having it all at once is probably the better way to go, because it will be one coherent piece for our community and people outside of our community to kind of grasp our vision and what we've done. But yeah, that's kind of how I feel. I think Taskiller agrees. He thinks utility first, and I think that's okay as well. We have been talking about utility already, and we could probably broaden up on that as we come closer to the anime release. But personally, I would love it all at once. I like the surprise factor.
Awesome. Well, in that case, then, I think that's something that we'll definitely consider as we move forward. Yeah, utility is bearish. I don't think so. But you know what, Halal? As Web3 advisor, you know best. But yeah, so regardless, guys, super exciting stuff there. Just so you guys know, the final episode date there will probably be if we release, every week, every couple of weeks. Everything should be out for our first series by end of February. Would probably be the final episode air date. So when? That is the big question. Well, the first when can we see it as a wonderful segue into NFT NYC. So Zokio will be there. We are going to be hosting a little bit of a shindig, and it's going to be pretty good. We have a place called Castell for anyone who wants to check it out. It'll be on April 4th. It'll be around 8 p.m. to 12 p.m. And it's here that you will have an open bar, get to look out over New York City, drink and eat to your heart's content, and watch all the anime you can desire. And yes, there will be some merch there for everyone to pick up. So super, super excited to see some of you there. It's actually beautiful. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. So when we were going out to do this, uh, obviously Voice Me is doing it with us, and Dylan sat me down and he said, Lotus, we're not gonna spend more than $20,000 on this event. I said, Dylan, it's not gonna happen. It is not going to happen. The reason being is that I believe in excellence. I believe in everything that we do should look and feel like you are a VIP, like you're rolling up to an event and you're a fucking executive. Because that is how I want to feel when I roll up to an event. I want to roll up to something. I want to be looking good. I want to be feeling good. I want the people there to look at me and be like, yeah, like you are the fucking man. And so that is the vibe that I hope you all have when you come to Castell. And I'll actually send it in chat here, Zodal. Um, two L's. They're fancy like that. When NFT Paris has, you know what? I really wanted to go to NFT Paris. I'm not gonna lie to you. I really wanted to go to NFT Paris. But the amount of time lost on what we were going to do, I couldn't stomach it. And that's the thing is that when you're so early on, like guys, we're less than 2 months after everything revealed, after we fully minted, right? And when you're in these nascent stages, time is so important, right? Like I think that the free time that I have for myself is I'll play League at the end of the day for a little bit, and then I want to blow my brains out, and so then I'll call my partner up and see if we can play some Roblox, because that is that is their game of choice. So whatever they may be, right? But yeah, super super excited there. Castell's going to be great. It's going to be a great night, and at the very least, you get to come and drink with Lotus. And I promise you guys, Lotus can drink a little bit. Lotus likes to get down. So, segueing on to the next thing that I wanted to hit, some other stuff in terms of where we're going, housekeeping, and then I'm just gonna pull some community questions here. That's something that I wanted to hit. There has been some questions about this tool. Some people reached out to me about what exactly it is that we're offering to you guys. So a video will be coming out soon, kind of showing off some tech. And truth be told, trying to show off that although we love creating pretty pictures here at Zokio, we do have some pretty big brain people on the team working on some cutting edge tech. Truth be told, so a lot of people asked because I was showing off some samples of the tool, and some people asked me, well, Lotus, this doesn't look as flashy as Midjourney, as Dolly, and you guys are absolutely right. So for anyone who has seen some samples of the tool, and I'll be revealing more and more over the next couple of weeks here. For anyone who has seen it and said, well, this doesn't look as flashy, that the lighting isn't as, truth be told, as high level, right? Like it's very well the lighting is very good, it's very well composited. The reason for this is that this tool is very special insofar as it is trained on a Zokio style. So when we started Voice Me even a couple years ago, we had a particular look to us. Is because we worked with an artist named Third, who is, truth be told, unreal. For anyone who has seen is Faux Humanity. So if anyone's seen the picture, the piece of art of Faux Humanity fighting one of the other one of ones, for anyone who's seen that image, so I don't know if you have it randomly because it features your NFT, but for anyone who's seen that image, that was drawn by Third. And one day, this is, I guess, some really deep Voice Me lore. Dylan obviously needed an artist for God Game, and so he went to this guy named Third, and said, "Third, if you draw this story for more than you typically would, or for less than you typically would, I promise you, I'm going to make you famous." And I guess Dylan was such a good salesman that Third said yes. And so now we have this top artist on the team that has been training this tool, truth be told. And so it's done to his specific style. The reason being why we train it specifically on that one style is because it is now going to be more consistent than any other AI tool on the planet. I'm not saying that it will be able to draw a masterpiece like them, but this will be able to draw masterpieces, but it is trained on your Zokios. So when I say I want it to draw, as an example, we've been doing, I don't know if he's in this call right now, he's not. For anyone who doesn't know this weird enigmatic figure named Jaw, he appears randomly, sweeps like 50 Zokios, says a couple things, and disappears. Really enigmatic figure. Funny story, he called Dylan one night randomly. Don't know how he got his number. But we've been working on doing some testing with his demon. He has a really beautiful demon. And this tool will know that that is Chaw's demon, and will know how to draw Chaw's demon in a various in a ton of different poses. So when we're going through and training the tool on your Zokios, that is why it's powerful. It's powerful because it's consistent, because it knows your NFTs and knows how to draw them like any artist would. This is kind of, truth be told, just so you guys know, this is kind of, a bit of a bad business on our part because we're completely eliminating the need for you guys to buy commissions from us, right? Obviously, no, we cover half of them, so we don't even really make anything on them. But we're giving you guys the keys to the castle here, and it's not even just for your Zokios. I know there's people in here that will hold Pudgies, maybe hold Azukis, that will hold other profile pictures, and we always say collaboration over competition. So when you start inputting these characters, these other profile pictures, the tool will automatically train itself on them. This is why it's so consistent, and it'll confine it to the Zokyo style, but you can use it on anything. And that's why it's there. That's why it's powerful, because it can do its own style and it can do what it's trained on every single time. That's powerful. It's not the most versatile tool. It's limited, but that's why it's powerful, because it's so good. Yeah, Matt, the one thing it does. Yeah. So this is drawn by Third. So this is the style of the tool, which, by the way, is still quite good. But yeah, so that is just sort of one of the last things I wanted to hit, because truth be told, I'm very excited about it. It is impressive, and it is cutting edge, and it is going to revolutionize how we create content, how we create comics. Truth be told. But yeah, so that other way, that is everything that we're working on, everything that we're working towards. And a brief update from me, talking about some animation studios, talking about this tool, talking about NFT, NYC, as well as leaking some alpha in there. And you know what? Actually, I'll leak some alpha in the end. In the end here, Matt, I need you to stop recording for this though.
Yeah, okay, just give me a shout when to stop. I can pause and
Like right
then
now.
restart. Oh, right now. Let me pause it and then
Yeah, yeah.
I'll,
Well,
yeah.
we're
Just,
gonna go to quick commercial break while I leak some alpha here.
yeah, just give me a second. I've done something. Yeah, we're live again.
God, I don't know what happened there, guys. We got rugged there for a second. But I'm gonna answer some community questions. Oh, so I believe Bunny was the first one. Question for AMA: how different is it writing for a webtoon versus standard book beyond obvious needing to sufficient manner, write in a sufficient manner while still conveying a complete story slash emotion? Bunny, that was such an intelligent question. How exciting! Um, actually, I think that was actually for Brandon Jones. I'm actually gonna leave that there. But funny enough, Lotus was a writer at one point, and I could answer that, but I might actually leave that for a future AMA. For anyone who doesn't know, by the way, what I'm talking about there is that we'll be hosting Brandon Chen for an AMA pretty soon here. He had some last minute scheduling conflicts that he had to attend to. Luckily, it was scheduling conflicts that we had given him. So it was some super critical stuff for the anime. Um, some critical stuff for the anime. so he had to focus on that for a second. So I'm actually going to start with T-Bone's question. Moving forward, how will Zokio and VoiceMe capitalize on a strategic partnerships and connections? So there's a couple of different ways, and truth be told, we're actually in a bit of a we're actually in a bit of a strange spot. So I'll let you guys in on a bit of, truth be told, a little bit of strategy and sort of what we're thinking about right now. Um, it's really incredible to say that we have investments um, from Marvel and Netflix and Crunchyroll, and we do. The thing, though, is that we directly compete with them, right? Eventually, let's say we could snap our fingers and grow to 10,000 times where we currently are. We would end up becoming their direct competition, right? So how we capitalize on them is, it kind of shifts and changes as you go on. It goes from, like, hey, can you help us with these resources, to like, hey, like, maybe can you look at buying up a percentage of VoiceMe, or buying up this particular part of VoiceMe, something like that, right? So for our really big partnerships and connections, the relationship kind of shifts eventually. It shifts from being, a, how can you help us with supplying us this intro, with supplying us this connection, with giving us this idea of how we can maybe best market this story, or what do you think is going to start popping off, stuff like that. It changes to be, maybe you can look at taking on some more of Voice Me, stuff like that, right? So for really big partnerships with, I mean, imagine what you're referring to, Cubone, is companies like Netflix and Crunchyroll. That's kind of where we'd go. But yeah, that is sort of how we capitalize on those specific partnerships. Um, for anyone who doesn't know, Med, you're gonna have to stop recording here as well, right? Really quick.
Yeah, we're live.
God, second rug a day. That's crazy. Discord has to get their shit figured out here. They're worse than Twitter at this point. Um, but yeah, the last thing that I'll hit before I go over to some more community questions, we are doing some art upgrades. So we did some polling, some questions. It looks like the style, like it looks like the consensus is that when the profile pictures hit, they hit very hard. But there are some traits, like the very affectionately dubbed poop stain trait. So this is actually an issue that actually, I think it was just a miscommunication with artists that just slipped through the cracks, where we'd wanted like a specific lipstick trait for female Zokios, and it was supposed to be a specific female trait. Like, some of the hair traits are supposed to be specific to one of the genders, and then they slipped through the cracks and ended up on both. Um, the lipstick trait is an example of that, so we will be adjusting that. Some bent guitars will be getting looked at, as well as just some general quality of life adjustments. The big ones that people have mentioned will be getting looked at and adjusted. So we thank you all for your diehard support of your Zokios, and now they're going to look better than ever. So super excited there. Yeah, going back to some community questions. Okay, has a lot. What is the difference between Zokio and other manga NFT projects? So Taz, there's two sort of key differences here. The first one is that when we created Zokio, we already had manga with millions and millions of views. Um, as opposed to and now these manga with millions and millions of views are what we putting your NFTs into. Now, other NFT projects, what they do is they'll mint, and then they'll use those mint funds to make the manga, and they'll use it to grow that IP. We already did it. So that's probably going to be the biggest sort of key difference there between us and other manga projects in particular. Is, yeah, that they use the mint funds to grow and draw the IP. We already had it, so the mint funds were used to be put into, should be told, into things like anime, into building out an incredible network with some of the greatest, with, truth be told, some of the biggest anime executives on the planet, like former heads of anime at certain companies that I'm not going to say, because I don't think I can even reveal that one just yet. That would be too much alpha. What about the tools to give to life towards Zokio? Any idea for timeline? Yes. So right now we're projecting to release this around June or July. that is when we're projected to be releasing it. So it's right now, honestly, the infrastructure is there. It's just being trained now on the Zokios and those styles. Partnership with Favor, Nifty Island, Mint Blockchain. No comment just yet. What about modifications specific to Zokio traits? Yes. So, like I said, we will be updating a handful of them, just to make sure that everything is hitting, right? We want each of these to hit, and people are going to be like, yeah, like that's sick. So we'll be updating a handful of traits. A couple of them I've already mentioned. Is official in the future there will be a token? Wonderful question. Moving along. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna defer to Halal down in the, or he's coming up to speak.
Yeah, I mean, there will be a token in terms of just like for the Zokio ecosystem. It's gonna be, yeah, there's gonna be something. It's being cooked on in the background. Um, it's just when it goes into token launches, there's a lot that goes into doing a token launch, and I learned from Valeria firsthand, like all the background stuff. So there's gonna be something for sure, 100%. Just be patient, and you'll see some signals in terms of like references towards a future ecosystem token coming along. I want to say in the next month or so, but the actual launch would be in quite some time. I mean, the market, like personally, I think we're kind of just starting to really get like a nice market in terms of token launches, new launches, and stuff like that. We'll have plenty of time for launching this. Want to make sure we do it properly. Want to make sure you get on the right exchanges. Want to make sure you have the right market makers. Want to make sure you have the right people backing you. There's a lot that goes into it. Want to make sure the distribution is proper, the tokenomics are proper, the utility is built up for it on day one. There's use cases for it and all that good stuff. So there is going to be I gotta word it properly. Like I'm like we're not gonna say there is a Zokio token, but there is going to be an ecosystem token for Zokio, if that makes sense. And yeah, there's gonna be something there for sure.
Awesome.
I will exit the stage now.
Thank you. How to improve chance for Zoki to be picked up for future manga? Honestly, I love going through the Zokyo stories in the Discord and the Zokyo showcase. We did actually, so recently someone asked us to create a template for people to put their Zokyo lore on Twitter, and it all looks kind of the same with like a Zokyo logo, some text, a picture of their NFT. So we did get that made. Should be rolling that out pretty soon here. But I love going through that section and reading. And if I find one that I really like, truth be told, I'll reach out to Eli, who is one of the writers that voiced me, one of and good friend of mine, and he writes a lot of stuff involving Zokyo. And I point him in the direction of some characters that I really want to see. So truth be told, that's a really good way to go about it. That's my, that I read through them every night before I go to bed. But yeah, that's probably the best way to really sort of increase your chances, because some people have some incredible stories in there that I can't wait to see. Very, very excited. How can we help you more as a United Community from Zokyo? What a wonderful question, Taz. I think the best way to really support Zokyo as a community is to, and honestly, this is way that I'm, truth be told, that I'm getting better at, but for a little bit there, we thought that it was sufficient to just give like a big update, every sort of, month or 3 weeks, and then we keep on. Then there'd be another really big announcement, right? And I think what we realized is that people, with so much going on in Web3, it's very easy to forget. And so that's why you see me tweeting a lot more now, just giving quick updates about where we are, showing off some art that we're working on. I think that's honestly the best way that you can really help. And I'm not asking anyone to shill or anything, but if you see something that you like, or you have an interesting thought about Zokyo, well, feel free to post that, right? That's the beautiful thing about Twitter, right? It's just that you can post anything, right? But yeah, I think really just appearing on people's timelines, mentioning the odd like, I'm excited about this, or I have a question about this, stuff like that. I think that really really helps. But honestly, I think that you guys already do so much. You're just by being here, you are supporting this
Yeah,
entire.
I can chime in on this real quick. So,
Yeah.
well, building out Valeria, and we have our own town hall in a few hours. So, I've been just prepping for that in the background. But when we minted Valeria, and at the time, it's I think the most important thing first, just to answer the question, like to help, is just keep the vibes up. Be positive within the Discord, be positive on Twitter, whatever we're talking. Meet the other community members. Just like have that positive, good vibes all around the project. You don't want to see people come in to check us out and then immediately come in the Discord and see like people fighting and stuff. So just aside from liking and retweeting and all that good stuff, just good vibes all around. Give the team their time to build. You know what's going on. It's nobody's going anywhere. This is the it's a bit of a long term thing because it does take time to build all these things, but we're gonna keep you guys up to date with like how we're building everything out, give you behind the scenes look, have like all the sneak peeks and stuff. We're gonna make a leaks channel and drop everything in there for you guys to just kind of see the process. But I mean, keep the vibes up, participate in the ecosystem however you can, and just give the team its time to build and support on socials. But I'll say this, like with Valeria, after we minted, and there's a ton of people in the crowd right now that can attest to this. Dimitri's there, Hoddle's there, Bunny's there. We had our town halls as well, and I want to say like a few months after we minted, a month after or two after we minted, the town halls only had like 10 or 15 people coming. If we were lucky. And then after we had a big jump to like 30 to 50, and then after we had a big jump to like now we're anywhere between 50 and 100, right? But like we were in the Discord for like a year with 10, 15 people outside from the team, coming to the town halls and talking. But I mean, those 10, 15 people now are like the core of our community, right? Like looking back a year later, like those are the guys who kind of push us over the top. Half of them became team members, like Hoddle's in here. We full on hired him, and he's working for Valeria now too. So it's and those guys we've all built really really good strong friendships, good relationships, like built a genuine community, right? That just takes time. So I'd say we just got to build that genuine community over time as we continue to build the project as a whole, and things will kind of work itself out. So it's a bit of a process, but like in terms of helping the team, like I can say this as a person who's a founder, the best thing to help is just Lotus comes in Discord. He just sees, the best vibes. He sees the community chilling. He sees everybody just talking about stuff, happy, um, positive vibes. It just keeps the team going, and be part of the process. Be part of the creation process. Give feedback. Give advice. If you see something you don't like, by all means, tell the team about that. It shows you care. Give advice. Give some feedback, and team is receptive to all that stuff. But yeah, I'd say that's probably the best way to help.
Piggybacking off of that, sorry, the cough was not the piggyback. I I think you just kind of touched on what Alal said. You guys have such a huge impact on our state of mind, like as a team. Because when I come in and I see people are driving and like they're happy, I feel so cool. Like I can't even describe the feeling. It's almost like a proud like mother goose, like you get to see these people that have come together in a place that you built, and whether they're talking about your project or they're talking about another project, that they're just in this space and they feel comfortable being there, and they get to just speak their mind. um it's really it's really really quite a good feeling. um and it's like it's nice, and much the credit when people aren't maybe saying super nice things. I think it's equally as important to show face there and have a response, or to maybe even acknowledge mistakes that we've made. But very very, like, you guys are what keep this project going. Without you, we legitimately have nothing, you know um but yeah. So moving along to the last of the community questions here. I was stalking the Valyria chat for a second there. I was like, whoa, that was a weird channel. I didn't think we had that channel. um but yeah, Moving along. Great question, by the way, Taz. Love your angel, by the way. Another question: will Zokio holders be able to invest as a shareholder in Zokio at some point, or having a new place for investing in Voice Me? So, truth be told, this is quite a complex question. Halal, mentioned a token earlier. That, truth be told, will probably be one of the more direct ways to invest in terms of into Voice Me as the larger company. This is something that, truth be told, I don't think I can comment on just yet, as I think it's still pretty far out.
Yeah, I
Realistically,
mean, I'll say this, like equity in the company itself, like as a whole, that's like the legalities behind that is extremely difficult. And if we comment on it right now, then we can't do it in the future too as well. Like you can't even talk about that stuff. But token, quote unquote token equity, and having allocation to that per se, of course, I mean that goes without a doubt. And I think people would much rather have that in this space anyways, just because of like that's liquid, I guess. Um so yeah, that is a thing. I guess I think he's reformulating his question. Yeah, I mean, if you count token equity as equity, then of course, but like specific equity in that company, I think that's like a whole nother legal craziness. I don't know how we'd go about doing that.
But Lotus did mention stock options.
So, well, every company has those, right? But that's a little bit different. Like, truth be told, like realistically, if you if you have a large sum of money, I think like if you approach Dylan and said, "Hey, like I want to angel invest," like I think there is room for that, but it's just yeah, like investing in the larger like Voice Me company and Zokio with equity as opposed to the token. Yeah, like as Halal said, we can really comment on it because it's just it's such a huge legal headache to say it and then maybe it isn't how we end up actually running it or anything like that. It is quite the it is quite the situation. Um, if it's not too personal, sorry, just moving along from that question. Will we have some soft staking mechanism like a bursted bubble to reward diamond hand holder? Halal, I'll defer to you on this one.
Yeah, so I'll say there is something called the Zokio Showcase that's coming out soon. When that releases, it's kind of like a soft staking mechanism. You'll be like accruing points and stuff. I don't want to speak on that too much. You'll see it when it comes out. Don't want to leak too much alpha on that. But that is a thing that is going to be releasing, which will serve that purpose. Staking is a little messy. Like we had it with Valeria too, and then with Blur, and when you stake, you can't transfer the NFT, and then people still list it and stuff. And it's just like it's a whole thing there. Um, we'll have like this different type of mechanism that'll serve the same purpose. But yeah, it's there. And then the last question Taz asked was, if it's not too personal, how much have you personally invested in holding Zokyo NFT? Teams are 100% dedicated. I mean, yeah, I mean, Lotus. First, I'll just say, like me, Metric, Bunny, and like the Voice team, we bought in a bunch of NFTs. Just because like you want your team to have that same like incentive alignment, even if like you're never really gonna sell them or whatever. Like you just want to have to you want to be part of the NFT scene, right? So it's like we have at this point, I don't know. It's a big percentage of the supply, to be honest. That's not that big. It's like maybe like 2 or 3%, I guess. But we have our stuff, and I'm still accumulating myself, slowly. But uh, and then in terms of just like money itself, is like I would say more than just investing in the NFT and purchasing NFTs. Uh, the team is investing all of its resources right into building up the project, which brings value back to the NFT naturally, right? So I think that's much more important as well.
Well, there you have it. Yeah. Excuse me for one. I don't know what it is about like going on stages or spaces, but whenever I do, I have this weird cough that I don't have ever in my life. It's weird. Um, Taz, I don't like any Frenchmen. I actually I want to go to France so bad. Um, So rest assured, there is no hate from Lotus. Lotus is Canadian. Lotus doesn't have a hateful bone in my body because I'm Canadian, and those just don't exist for us up here. But yeah, we've been on for about an hour here. We've answered all the community questions, so if anyone has any final questions, by all means, feel free to ask now. But save for that, I'll probably call it here for our inaugural town hall.
Yeah,
Thank
and I
you.
think obviously there will be questions that people want to ask anyway, so just make sure you put them in the channel, the Town Hall Questions channel, and then when we're back again in 2 weeks, is it, Lotus? We can
Yes, sir.
respond to them then.
Yeah, for sure. I love getting to come and chat with you guys. And honestly, I'm typically chilling VC in the server pretty frequently if I'm just like going over some contracts or reviewing some stuff. I'm typically chilling in VC. So if anyone does have any like really super urgent questions, I'm typically always in there. But yeah, thank you everyone for being here. This is good, a great way to start my Saturday morning. I can't wait to talk to you all again in a couple of weeks. And oh, Taz, you're up here. How's it going?
Hello, thanks for having me here. And I just wanted to say thank you for all your work. Thank you for all the transparency and communication you share with us. I really do appreciate. And I'm sorry for my French accent and French sense of spelling or wording. I know for most of you it's hard to understand me, but to be honest, sometimes it's also hard for me with Alpha being say a bit fast. But no problem with the future transcription. So thank you for this first town hall. This is an amazing project, and I'm really looking forward to what's going to be built next.
Oui, mon ami. Thank you. That was super sweet. Taz, comment ça va? Bonjour, comment ça va? Taz isn't even in here anymore. Crazy. I was going to speak French for a second and show off my Canadian vocal skills, but Taz is gone. Taz is back.
I'm here. Let's talk in French, Lotus.
I can only say that. I was gaslighting you. I'm sorry. I can only say those two things.
No worry, that's cool.
That was a great example of don't say you can do something unless you can actually do it, because someone is going to call you out on it and you're going to look like a fool.
I will always be there to look at your back when you say you're going to deliver something, Lotus. In
Thank
the
you,
dark,
Taz.
looking at you with when.
Oh, Taz, thank you, my friend. But yeah, everyone, I will let you get back to your Saturdays now. I felt you hostage for far too long. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. Very excited for what we're building, and we'll talk soon. Have a good day, everyone. Later days.